What is up, guys? It is the Turtle Girl. Welcome to the challenge. I almost said welcome to the challenge. Yeah. What is up, guys? It is the Turtle Girl. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be talking about the story of why I chose the two turtles I have, specifically their two species, and kind of my thought process behind that. Some of you guys have asked for this story, and I thought it would be kind of interesting for you guys to see my thought process when picking out the type of pet turtle I wanted to, so that if you're thinking about getting a pet turtle, you can kind of see the things I considered, and maybe it'll help you a little bit too. So this is basically a little bit of a story time about how and why I chose the two turtles I have. So for those of you who don't know, I have two turtles. Nemo, my eastern painted turtle, who is over 12 years old now. I think he might even be 13 or 14. He was adopted, so we're not sure of the exact age. But anyways, Nemo, the eastern painted turtle. And then we have Hoku, the diamondback terrapin, who is the turtle behind me. He is almost 3 years old at this point, I believe. And so those are the two turtles that I owned. So let's go ahead and start with Nemo because he was my first turtle. Now, when I was thinking about the first turtle that I wanted to get, I wanted it to be able to handle any mistakes that I had. And I also wanted it small because I wasn't really ready to commit to a huge tank like 75, 125 gallons, although as you'll see in the future, we did end up with a big tank, a 75 gallon. But at the beginning, I wasn't ready to commit to a huge sized tank. Oh, and I wanted them to have like a good personality and not be shy. So that was like basically my top 3 things that I wanted in my turtle was easy to care for, didn't grow too big, and had some sort of personality, or at least wasn't shy. I would actually swim up to the glass, okay? And so throughout my research, I found that there were pretty much 3 species of turtle that fit this criteria. The first one was the musk turtle, and I really liked that option, except for the fact that when you got them as babies, they were really small, and older musk turtles were harder to find. Then there were certain species of map turtles, such as the cagels or the Texas maps, stayed pretty small as long as you got a male, like about 4 inches. And the only thing with them is that some people said that they tended to be shy and weren't as personable, if you know what I mean. And then in the end, there were these southern and eastern painted turtles. They kind of had fun colors, were a little bit like a slider, but just like kind of smaller. And so that's why I ended up choosing the painted, is because I liked the small size, the personality, and the ease to care for. Because with the musk turtles, I really liked musk turtles, and to this day I still want a musk turtle. But my fear with them was that if I got a hatchling or a baby, that because they're so small, they kind of can be finicky when it comes to water depth, and so I was worried that wouldn't work for them, and so I ended up getting a painted turtle. And then the reason I decided to adopt was because most of the turtles that are being adopted out are already adults, and so I wanted a turtle that was also older so that it would kind of be established and not as sensitive as a baby turtle. And then also it's really cool to take in a turtle that doesn't have a home. So my first turtle, Nemo, was adopted. He is an eastern painted, was 10 when he came to me, and so that's how I ended up with Nemo. He has been a lot of fun, and so that's how I ended up with my first turtle. Now with my second turtle, why did I choose a diamondback terrapin? Well, you might just take a look at Hoku and just say, that is a really cool looking turtle. That is a beautiful turtle, because diamondback terrapins don't look like your average slider or painted or even a map. They are very striking in their appearance because of their sometimes lighter and speckled skin, and then their lighter shells. And so I knew I wanted a diamondback terrapin based on how they looked, and that was pretty much it. But I was very careful in deciding to get a turtle that had been raised in fresh water. And finding diamondback terrapins online can be kind of difficult because they're not as common as some other species, and because they're also protected in some states. And so I had been searching for a diamondback terrapin for a really long time, and just looking for kind of a reputable source, because a couple popped up on like the king snake classifieds, but I didn't think that guy was very reliable because, you know, you always look into who you want to buy from to make sure that they're, you know, a good source. And so finally one came up on Instagram from this breeder that I was following, and it was actually a juvenile, so that was great because again, I was kind of wary about getting a hatchling. And so I ended up with that turtle. He had been raised in fresh water, which was also another thing I was looking for, because I knew that most diamondback terrapins are used to brackish water. Now, some breeders will raise them in fresh, and if they're raised in fresh, they're less prone to have issues. I didn't know if that would be something I would be able to maintain, so I was definitely looking for a terrapin that had been raised or at least acclimated to fresh water. And so that's how I ended up with Hoku. Basically, whenever I want to go get a turtle, the things I'm thinking about are what are my criteria, such as size, age, personality, ease of care kind of thing. And then as far as looking at who to buy from, I'm looking for, is this a good breeder and are they raising the turtle the way I want to, so there's not as much of a change. So for instance, with the brackish water with the Diamondback terrapin. And so that's how I ended up with my turtles. I kind of hoped these stories helped you, or just kind of fun to listen to and watch my turtles cruising around their tanks while I talked. So if you guys enjoyed it, feel free to drop a thumbs up down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next Friday. Have a totally awesome day. Bye-bye.